Hello, this is Stephen Whitfield with Drilling Contractor here at the 2021 IADC Annual General Meeting in Dallas. With me right now is Jeff Hales, Professor of Accounting at UT Austin and Chair of the SASPy Standards Board. Dr. Hales just gave a presentation as part of a panel discussion on sustainability reporting here at the conference. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, it's my pleasure to be here.
So my first question, pretty straightforward for our audience. What is SASPy?
Yeah, it's a great question. So SASPy is a nonprofit organization that is set up to help develop standards for companies to communicate with investors around the environmental and social issues and the governance over those issues that relate primarily to their business and that the capital markets or investor community would be interested in knowing about.
Could you describe the standard setting process?
Sure. So the way that it works is that we start off by doing industry-based research, thinking about what do companies do, what are the main business activities in different industries, and then we think about the broad set of externalities and dependencies related to environmental resources, the human capital that's involved, the social implications that there might be, and think about what are the key issues that are going to relate to a given business, given the industry. We do research around that, and we try to engage with the community, to the investor community and with companies to understand whether or not we've sort of hit the right issues. And then before we finalize any specific standards, we put them out for public comments so that we can make sure that they reflect market input and feedback as well. And so it's a very transparent, rigorous due process that we go through, but we really try to help develop standards that are going to be market-led to meet market needs.
Now, you noted at the discussion today that there's a trend in sustainability reporting towards a capital market focus. Could you explain why that is and also what that might mean for the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think if you think back historically, a lot of the impacts that companies would talk about related to ESG issues almost were discussed more from a we're a good company kind of philanthropic sort of perspective. Do business with us because you like us. And increasingly, capital markets have started to understand that there are major consequences. There's like regulatory changes that are coming. There's going to be shifts in the economy that matter. There are going to be physical risks that are present in some industries and in some locations. And so, increasingly, they are demanding that they get information about companies' activities and strategies that relate to that. So they want to know how to deploy capital in a way that steers capital to where it's going to be best managed from a risk-return perspective, but not just thinking about short-term costs, but actually thinking about long-term strategy. And so ESG issues can be a great lens for thinking about that. That's been a major shift in the way that the capital markets have been thinking.
And lastly, COP26 is a big conference and everybody's got their eyes on it. You noted some major developments in the world of sustainability reporting at COP26. Could you talk a little bit about some of those developments and what that might mean for sustainability reporting moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that people struggle with in sustainability reporting is that there's been so many organizations, they call it the alphabet soup, and one of the major announcements was that an international body, the International Financial Reporting Standards Foundation, the IFRS Foundation, it is going to be creating another standards board, but this time they're doing it by consolidating the Value Reporting Foundation, which covers SASPy standards and integrated reporting, as well as the CDSB, which is the Climate Disclosure Standards Board, bringing these existing organizations and their IP and work and their people into one organization. So a major step forward in terms of consolidation, simplifying the landscape, building it out in a global way, and so it's really going to, our hope is help to escalate this even further.
Well, Dr. Hales, thank you again for taking the time to speak with us today. Sustainability reporting is such a huge issue in our industry right now, and it's going to be fascinating to see where this kind of moves going forward. So thank you again for taking the time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And thank you for visiting Drilling Contractor.